Django, a free and open source framework for building web apps with Python. Django is a collection of modules, packages, and libraries designed to speed up the development process. It's not the only web framework for Python, but it's the most popular one. That's why a lot of companies like YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Pinterest, and Dropbox use Django in their tech stack. Django is what we call a batteries included framework, which means it comes with lot of features straight out of the box. So we don't have to code the tedious task again and again. For example, it provides an admin interface to manage our data, which is a huge time saver. It has object relational mapper or ORM, which abstracts the SQL data into Python code. So we no longer need to write a lot of SQL queries. It also comes with an authentication package for identifying users. It also has a package for caching data and much more. Because Django offers all these amazing features out of the box, we don't need to worry about reinventing the wheel, and we can completely focus our attention on developing features for our app. Django is mature, stable, easy to learn, and has a huge community, which means if you stuck at some point, there is always someone to help you. Let's get started. To use Django, first you need to install Python. Pip install Django. This is a terrible advice. You need to create a new virtual environment, blah blah blah. To avoid this stuff, I'm using PyCharm, which allows me to abstract the tedious pip environment task. I'm going to create a new Django project and call it my site. This is a pro version, by the way. Once it's done, these are all the files we get. There is a manage.py file, which we will never edit until or unless you are doing something complex stuff. Just don't touch that. The main folder is termed as the repository root. Inside this directory, we call a configuration root. Then we have a directory similarly named the same as our project, which is project root. Think of this as a safe vault: repository root, configuration root, and project root. The project root has these files. init.py is an empty file. Both ASCII and WSGI files are used when we deploy our Django project to a web server like Nginx. Talking about Nginx, fireship.io already covered the topic. The two of the most important files are settings.py and urls.py. Setting.py is a very simple file. It looks complicated. Trust me, it's not. The secret key is just a security measure and acts as an encryption for data transfer. Debug equal to true means that we are working in a development environment, not a production server. Allowed host equal to means it contains the host IPs. Don't worry about that for now. Middleware is what all Django features are we using. So let's take a moment and start our project by going to terminal and type python manage.py start server my site. Now go to localhost 8000 and there you have the boilerplate Django project. As you can see, debug equal to true is also displayed in here. Back to settings.py. So all the HTML you see on the local host is coming from the templates in our settings.py file. So we have WSGI configuration, databases, authentication, password validators. Language code equal to ENUS, meaning that we are using English and the time zone, etc. The only file now left is urls.py. Before opening the file, this has to be clear. Open google.com and go to the URL bar. Type /images, we get Google Images. /drive, we get Google Drive. The idea is that with different URLs, we get different results. For example, go to localhost and type /admin. You get the admin panel. In the same way mentioned in the URL pattern list in our settings.py file, we need to understand the core concept of Django called apps. Django embraces the idea of modularity, meaning that you will never work in the main project subdirectory. To understand this, let's visit instagram.com/devpanda.js. We are in the user profile app. Consider the user profile as the project. It is divided into multiple apps. One for followers, one for following, one for post, and one for reel, so on and on. Apps are the building block for our overall project. This means splitting the code by feature. With that said, now I'm going to create a hello app. Open the terminal inside the project and type python manage.py start app hello. You notice that a new folder is created in our configuration root named hello. Go ahead and create a new file and call it urls.py in the hello directory, and we need to register the urls.py of hello in our project root folder urls.py. In the URLs pattern list, add path method, which takes two arguments, the name of the app and the URLs. For the URL, we will use include method. Inside the method, pass hello.urls as string. Then inside our settings.py file, include the hello app under the installed app. This is the way to wire the newly created app to our Django project. Let's get back to our urls.py file in our hello folder. Here we include one library, that is from django.urls import path. As you see, there was a URLs pattern list in our main urls.py file. We need to initialize that in our hello app urls.py, and it takes the method that we imported above, path. To understand this, let's take an abstraction and open youtube.com/devpandasuraj and focus on URL bar. Consider the channel page being a single app in a YouTube project. Click on videos navbar, so the URL changed to c/videos. Click on playlist, the URL is changed to /c/playlist. Click on on about, it again changed to /c/about. With this in mind, we'll go back to our views.py in the hello folder. Create a Python function and you call it anything. Let's call it home. It takes one parameter called request. Inside the function body, we can return any HTTP responses. So let's return, let's say something like hello world. We need to wire this in our urls.py file. Inside URL's pattern list, create path method. The first parameter is URL's path. Create an empty string meaning that the root, and then add view.home, the view we need to associate with URL path. The third argument is optional, but it's a best practice. Name equal to home, the method name. Now open terminal and run our app by the command python manage.py run server. Then go to /hello. There we have our hello world app. Let's go back to our views app and duplicate the home method and rename it to hi, and return a HTTP response and pass a h1 tag inside the string and write any string. Now go to urls.py and register it. Inside the path, include the string hi and views.hi and name equal to hi, and go to localhost /hi. Boom, you have an HTML output. As you see, if you have a lot of HTML, this method becomes unreadable easily. To solve this, inside our hello directory, create a new folder and call it templates. Double check if the directory name is templates or not. Inside the templates folder, create a new folder and it should have the same name as our app name, hello. Inside the directory, create a new HTML file and you can call it anything. Let's say hello.html, and copy paste these boilerplate inside the file. Now go to views.py and duplicate the hi method and rename it to subscribe. Instead of returning HTTP response, let's use the render method, which is already imported for us at the top. Inside the render method, we pass the request as our first parameter and our HTML file as our second parameter. Now go to /hello/subscribe. Boom, we have our HTML file served for us. Django is based on MVT design pattern. Model, the data access layer. Template, the presentation layer. View is the business logic that the Django is concerned with. This has been Django, not in 100 seconds. There are 2 more parts coming up. If this video reaches 500 likes, like my JSON video, I will be posting the entire COVID-19 tracker app. Thank you for watching and welcome to Watch to the End Plus. You are breathtaking.